Good morning everyone. In this video we are going to focus on the components ion grid that we can find on our official documentation by finding a complete article on its presentation. Then it's a component that has its name suggests will allow you to make grids, as you see here on the smartphone. It can be complex or not difficult but rich in functionality. It's a component that can be very useful when you consider creating an app. It should work on mobile devices as well as on desktop computers. We can use this grid here to reduce the size of our ion card. Remember, on larger screens, we go back to our source code at the level of our ion content around the content, where I want to control the size. We can add the ion grid component. However, you don't just paste your content that should be resized because as IONIC it will know how to resize it automatically. The solution is to create a grid with rows, called row, so ion row. And each row will contain an ionic column. Thus, the rows and columns constitute the grid, and we will even go further because for a column, you can even define its size and the size of its content, because it's ion code which contains the content to be entered, so the ion card. I'm going to move it into this column. So I grab the ion card and cut it and put it into the ion code like this. We can use the default properties and attribute that we can set on this element that you can find in the official documentation. For example, we can define a size attribute with size that we're going to set to a value of 6. So by default, a column can have a size between 1 and 12. That's why I set it to 6 and I entered the average between the two. But if you want more details, it means that I will take a 12th of the total width, so 6 will take off, and if I save the changes made and we return to our browser, we can see that our ion card has been reduced. It's now smaller and twice as large as the screen, but of course on a smaller device we get not a very nice rendering. So how can we get the best distribution? Have the full width on a smaller device and take off the width on a larger screen. Well, for that, we can use specialized forms of its attributes instead of defining a size equal to 6. We can define a size MD equal to 6. What does that mean? Simply, MD is the diminutive of medium. You also have XS, so extra small, and also S for small, and also LG for large. So we take the medium as for closing size, for example. This is what allows you to define the size of different screen sizes. You can find breakpoints for the size in the official documentation. Now, if we save this now and I search on the mobile app, you see that we have the full width design, but on larger screens. The iPad Pro, for example, it gives a not very well symmetrical result. What would suffice to do is to center our content, and it turns out we can do that as easily. You can add this property which is called offset and assign it the value of 3 because we have 12 columns. They are 6 wide, so we want to have 3 columns on the left and 3 columns on the right, which is it 3 columns to the left. Obviously, I don't want you offsetting on all screen size, but only on medium and larger screen sizes, which is important when you add a medium size, so MD. Now with this configuration, size MD equals 6 and offset MD equals 3, if we save and reload our browser, we can see that the result is well centered both on the highest ranking screen and on the smallest ones. We still have all the width available, and this is exactly the look what we want here. IONIC Grid has a lot of configuration possibilities, and therefore I just want you to understand that we have different categories of components, and you will have different tools to be able to change the size depending on the user's device. This video is coming to an end, and I will see you in the next one.